So here we go, Lord Kabal. So let's start by talking about his normal attacks. And like I said, they have excellent range now. Like one of the key ones is back light punch.
Look at that reach.
Back front punch. Back punch, down punch is this super far, like start of the round kind of footsie tool, which is like, footsies is like your mid-range game. You're kind of back and forth when you're feeling the opponent out. The first hit is a mid. The second hit's actually a very fast overhead. And he can actually hit confirm it into the dash and go into a combo if he wants. One thing that's notable about that is typically in MK11, we actually don't have that many special moves that go into a combo without amplifying it.
Right.
Even Scorpion's Harpoon in this game, he actually has to amplify it to get a combo.
Right.
He doesn't. The dash, he'll always get a combo. So that's kind of a pretty powerful thing about Kabal, a really good option.
And you can just catch people all day with it, just like classic
Of course,
Kabal.
just like classic Kabal. Another really good normal is forward 2-2-4, which he starts doing these mids, and then he ends in an overhead. And he has low attacks that you can use to mix it up if you want. So that's kind of a good, like, up close.
Splat.
Yeah, and that also goes to a crushing blow we can talk about later.
Okay.
Another one is 3-2, which is kind of like your Punisher string. Like you block Sub-Zero's slide or Scorpion's Harpoon, and then you can actually, again, juggle them and go into Nomad Dash.
Classic Kabal.
Now, here's what I want to just do a little. I noticed something that you did, Steve. So, as you know, like when you create your own versions of these characters, you can name what you've done it. You've called this 7-3.
Yes. That's a reference to a previous game that I'm
Yeah.
going to get to, and that it basically is a warning to people playing him. I'm very, very strong.
I'm very, very strong.
Yeah, beware. And I made this Kabal this loadout on purpose.
Did I just blow a reveal?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal, but thanks, Tyler, for killing the bit.
My bad. My bad.
So the final normal I'd like to talk about is my personal favorite with Kabal. It's his forward 4, 1+3. So this knee is super fast. It's a really good mid, and it goes straight into a very quick overhead.
Okay.
And I want you to keep in mind, I keep mentioning overheads because those are the key mix-up tools that he has in his normals.
Right.
And we'll get to his lows in a little bit. So
Now, when we talk about overheads too, like for those who don't know that's a move that you have to stand block.
exactly.
It will
If
hit
you're
you if you are
crouch
ducking.
You'll get hit.
Yep.
So you're always going to be wanting to stand block against him unless he commits to low special moves that I'll show in a minute.
Sure.
So I think the forward 4 is just a great tool. Like if you hit a down 1, or if the opponent does something where they're in recovery, but they're not punishable, but they're like slight recovery, it's a great move to just mash it out. Honestly, when I play Kabal and I don't know what to do, I do forward 4.
Right.
And you really can't go wrong.
And another thing, like I just want as you watch the Combat Cast and as you learn with us, I want you to know some of the terminology. So when you say forward 4, like people play on different consoles, different systems, so the buttons are labeled as such 1, 2, 3, 4. So
right.
it's
Like you can think of it as the left punch button is 1, then 2, and then on the kicks it's 3 and 4. So that's a universal way for any character, any console.
So when you go online, you go to the Amazing Mortal Kombat Reddit, you go to our Discord, on Twitter, if people are trying to discuss what combos do, you're going to see a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, back, forward, 4, to like explain how combos work.
Another notable thing I'd like to show is that a lot of his like classic things, like your sweep, your down 4, your pokes and all that, he also uses like swords. Like this is actually his down 4, which is awesome. It's almost the start of the range. The start of the round range. A lot of times, just kind of playing them in range, walking back and forth in the back 1 range, I'll just kind of do this and clip their leg. And you can see his sweep actually has, I would call this
good range right
hella
there.
range. I think this is hella.
Oh.
Yeah, very, very good range. It's another move I'll just throw out.
What's above hella range?
Hema.
Oh.
That's one step bigger.
Okay, gotcha.
His back 2 is also great. It's not a combo, but it's kind of a safe, like,
Just get the hell out of here.
Get out. Get out of here. Move.
Okay, that was you. That was you
Role
doing
playing Kabal.
Kabal impression. Okay.
And now I think we can show his throws, which are pretty awesome.
And yeah, let's show this.
Sorry, that was my sound.
No, I like it.
Oh, God, it's good.
And I've always talked about this. Throws are so good. You see a lot of them in fights. So the throws really have to add color to the character. Like, they always have to feel like the character. Because, you watch a lot of tournament games, you're going to see a lot of the throw is something that you come back to a lot. It's an animation, so you want it to be something that's really cool.
Right.
Because people are going to see it all the time.
Yeah, it's one of the best ways to show a character's personality. We can also see his wake-up attacks. He uses hook swords. It's a huge anti-air.
Yeah.
but then his up 3-1 is a straight poke.
Let's talk a little bit about wake-up attacks, too,
That's
because...
a great time to talk about it. So, you no longer do any special move you want when you're knocked down. Instead, you have these preset moves that are only available when you're knocked down. So with him, you hit up 2, and he'll do this move. And that's just a wake-up attack. That's the only way you can do it. And then you have an up 3. So
now, also notice that it took 1 bar of defense and 1 bar of offense when doing that.
You are both waking up, and you're invincible, and you're also attacking. So it takes 50%.
Now, are they both armored, or is just one? How does that work?
Great question. So you're up 3, which is like your poke. You just kind of strike them. That's fully invincible. But you don't get a lot of damage. You can see he just kind of knocks Sub-Zero away. It's just kind of get off me, get some breathing room. Right. Yep. But the up 2 is not invincible, but it is an anti-air, and it is immune to air attacks. And that, you get a full pop-up. So you can see he actually gets a combo. That's so awesome. The idea here would be, it's a simple meta of, do you want to do the safe, like just get off me, low risk, low reward option that's fully invincible, and if the opponent respects that, and they try to jump over you to punish it, you go for the anti-air one.
Right.
And then it would loop back into not doing a wake-up attack at all, or you can wake up roll forward or back, which is actually invincible.
Right.
Or you can just get up and actually block, and you know.
Who wants to do that?
Right. I mean, you've
got all these tools. Like, no.
Right.
Why would I do that?
Awesome.
So I think that's kind of Kabal's base kit, and I think the notable thing about Kabal in this game is he's actually, in my opinion, pretty basic and easy to play, which is interesting for him.
Right.
Kabal, like in MK9, was actually a high execution character, and in my opinion, he's not really like that anymore. He's not like a high pressure, high intensity character. He's pretty simple, and for me, I've always loved Kabal, but I could never actually play him.
Right.
I'm all in on. He's one of my favorite characters to play right now because you're only going to use like 5 or 6 moves, and they're pretty basic, and he kind of has a move list. It's like quick and dirty. Like, here's some good mids, here's some good overheads, he has a couple low special moves. What more do you need? Well,
and that's important too. I mean, that happens a lot in the games we make, is that like, there are some characters that like really help the people who are good at high, like, very difficult things. But like a lot of characters who aren't super difficult to play still fit right in the meta, and it's a good place to start. Like if you're starting playing our games, like maybe Kabal's a good place to start for you.
I absolutely think he'd be a really good beginner character. If you just want to use your kind of, from this range, I just kind of do safe stuff and don't really commit to anything. Make the opponent, if you want to think more about the opponent making mistakes than what you're doing, I actually think he's a great character for that.
Also has a lot of really badass specials. So if you're a guy who's not a tournament guy and you like sitting down on the couch with your buddy and having a beer and playing the game and want to slam some hook swords, this is the guy you go with.
Which sounds like a good reason to get into his special moves.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, I don't know if anyone noticed in the trailer, Gas Blast is gone.
Well, it's just totally different, I guess. Kind of, right?
It's gone.
All right.
There is no more instant air gas. There are now hundreds of MK9 players that are just
crying.
Well, there's a couple Kabal players that are crying.
Right.
However, Kabal's still a pretty awesome zoner. His buzzsaw is now very, very fast, and it's actually a gadget that he throws. Because I've always wondered, what is that? Why does he lift his leg up and summon a magic buzzsaw? It is now Black Dragon tech from the Black Dragon Black Market. He got from Kano, and he actually throws it like a straight projectile. It's a good recovery. It's pretty good. And the amplified version actually allows him to go into Nomad Dash. So you can't really react to it. You gotta guess that, like, you gotta be pretty confident it's gonna hit. But if he's trying to trade projectiles and you're sure it's gonna hit because it's significantly faster than most projectiles, you can go ahead, go into it, and actually get a combo conversion. So that's pretty cool. He also has other buzzsaw moves that you can use as abilities. Like, for example, this loadout, he actually has the low one back. And the amplified one is super cool because he throws 2. It does really good chip damage, and it takes up a ton of space, so they actually will have to jump.
Right.
I also, in this loadout, because this loadout is based on, now I'll admit the 7-3 thing is, this is my MK9 style Kabal. He actually has a air straight one that he can do.
Oh, jeez.
And he can amplify that to actually recover super, super fast.
Right.
So, you know, you can use to cover the ground, and they're going to have to inch their way in, and you know they're going to want to jump, and then you can go on and do the air one and try to catch them.
Or if they jump, can't you just catch them with a dash too?
Of course, you can do the classic, one of the best MK3 anti-airs.
Just stay back, right? Like, it's awesome.
Now, we've already talked about the Nomad Dash, but now we'll show it clearly. It's everything you want about Nomad Dash. Now, normally, he actually cannot cancel it. That's gone too.
Right.
We've, like a lot of the pressure like that, is drastically toned down in the default move list. But if you're someone that really loved it and you do have the execution,
Right.
you're not like me, you don't want to just, play the bare bones, you want it, that is available as a customization item. So he actually can still do that.
So all the people that were asking is dash
Yep.
canceled back for him.
Yes, it is. You can make that loadout. If that's your bag, you're someone that's really good at that, that is available. It'll take one of your slots, so you got to think clearly, But if you want to make this MK9 style loadout,
You can.
you're free to do it.
And you can't do it.
Yep. Another special move he has that's actually back, and I think is very cool, is his hook slam move. And this is your combo ender. You're going to pretty much end all your B&Bs with this. It does good damage. If he amplifies it, it's super fun.
Oh.
Whee! Yeah, that's super fun. Another one of his key special moves is in this loadout, I gave him... wait, I just forgot what I was going to show.
Number 3.
Wait, I think we're done with this loadout, actually.
Cool.
I think we're ready to go to the next one. Okay.
Let's check out another loadout.
All right, so I made another loadout. This is the personal one that I use when I play.
Okay.
I'm very happy with this loadout. So first off, this is actually a default move that he didn't have in the last one. He has an air saw that goes at a downward arc.
Right.
The last loadout I had chose to go for the straight one, but normally he uses the down one, which is the one I prefer. He can also amplify it to recover very quickly. And this is pretty awesome, not just for zoning, but it's for faking jump ins. Like you can kind of pretend to jump in and actually change the jump arc. You can stay safe by jumping down quickly.
So this is what you were talking about earlier too, the human, like awesome looking skin for him.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love the coat, and I think his not being burnt up is cool. And since we're playing with timeline stuff, we're able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
He was actually meant to be in Special Forces unburnt, and there's like art for it and everything.
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Steve's lore minute.
That's right. That was actually cut. So, and he was in Shaolin Monks, but this is the first time where you can actually play him unburnt. And I'm very hyped for that.
All right.
Cool.
Also in this loadout, I gave him a low hook sword, which not only looks cool, this complements all the overheads I mentioned earlier. And this is the way that I like to play Kabal. High risk character. Like I'll do this, and normally he has the overhead. I'll go into the low hook.
Ooh.
Or, as I said, this is an overhead. I'll do this. So the low hook is punishable. He's going to get bodied if they block it, but he keeps the opponent guessing all the time. I also am a big fan of doing that instead of the overhead, and that's going to not only keep him guessing, but it's going to keep him focused on the normal he's doing, which then opens up the throws.
Right.
And then lastly in this loadout, I gave him the parry, which is, in MK9 he kind of had a parry because EX dash is so OD, and now we've actually just given him an actual parry, and it's very strong. He can actually hold it as long as he wants, and he gets a full combo when it hits. So he gets a super effective parry. So in my opinion, the way I play him in this loadout is he's a 50-50, it's a high risk 50-50, but he still opens you up all the time, and then he has defensive options with the parry. So
Right.
he tries to get in close, then he starts opening up with overhead low mix-ups, and if you try to attack him, he can parry the full combo.
Can I say something?
No.
And Derek, maybe you'll agree.
Okay.
Is there anyone faster at going through the training menu than Steve?
No.
Well,
No.
I do it all day long.
Like, it is...
It's impressive.
We got Ken Morris coming in here in a little bit. They can't hear you. Yes or no? Is there anybody faster? Ken thinks he's faster.
Oh my gosh. Can we get 2 screens side by side?
Time it.
And
For
get-
the worst
I just-
stream of all time. To
So-
see who can do that fast.
Should we do one more loadout?
Yeah,
I have one
think
prepared.
so.
I think we owe it to people.
We owe it to people? Okay. So this is a gas-based loadout. All the loadouts are thematic. I don't mean that. I mean...
Oh, got you.
Okay,
Got you.
okay.
Yeah. I'm a child. I'm sorry.
All right, so I gave him 2 different gas moves here. The first is this new version of Gas Blast. It's actually like, it's like a string ender. It's a safe way to end his strings if he doesn't want to commit to anything.
All right.
Derek, please.
Sorry,
And the
sorry.
amplified version is very neat because he spits out even more gas, and this gas cloud, if the opponent's in it, they will take dot damage, and jumping is disabled.
Oh, okay.
Do you have
So-
to say dot damage or just say dot?
Damage over time.
That's
You're
like,
right.
That's
It
like
should
saying
just be-
ATM machine.
Right.
Right.
So this one you can kind of use when you're focused on the mid-range with his back one string. You kind of spit that out, and now the opponent, they're either going to take the damage or they're going to continue to stay out. So that's pretty
a
cool.
sick
good.
respirator, too.
Yeah.
That's really cool looking.
And then I also gave him this high mobility gas jetpack where you can see and you can control how far. You can control how far he goes, and this it's kind of like you'd see an air dash in an anime game, or actually maybe even a wacky Injustice character, and you can use it to go into cross-ups, go over them.
Could you cancel the special moves from it?
You can.
Oh my goodness!
Which I really like to do that too. You can use it to go over projectiles. Like if he's going to do Ice Blast, you jump. If you're going to land on it, Gas Blast over, then do the air saw.
When you showed that you could cancel that, I want Matt Burke to put Burke Cam on and show what he did when he saw that.
Oh,
there we go. That was really good.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
good.
so
Burke
with the custom variation system, these are three very different play styles. You can play a high mobility keep out version where he can close the distance really quickly. You could play an MK9 style OD zoning version with the cancels if you have the execution. What I love is Scarlet has some similar stuff. I'm not smart or talented at playing complex characters, so I can avoid them. But the option's still there if you are. Or you can play the very basic 50-50 version that I like to play.
Right.
It's pretty much
That's
up
where
to
I
you.
would be too.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Crushing Blows. You want to talk about those for a second?
Crushing Blows is one of the new systems you may have seen where it goes into the X-ray effect and the opponent has their jaw broken or whatever.
Right.
So the way it works is every character has 4 to 5 moves that can trigger it, and conditions are what triggers it. For example, the uppercut one everyone has. It's universal, and that is if you counter a high attack.
Right.
For example, if you try to throw me and I uppercut your throw, will get Crushing Blow.
And those can be comboed after.
Yes, they have different they do insane damage, and they often lead to DOT or a different reaction, maybe a stagger, or in the case of an uppercut, a combo.
Now there is, I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, in the options you can choose how those fire off too, right?
The choice is you can make it so that you can hold the button down to trigger it, and that would be if you don't want to, because you can only do them once per game.
Because we actually had this happen, you and I, where you beat me in the game, but you did one at the end of the round where you probably shouldn't have done it.
I did Sub-Zeros to kill you, but you were going to die with the slide anyway.
Right.
So losing that bonus damage was actually a bummer.
Because he could have used that the next round, but he lost it because you can only do them once it's been done.
Now, does it cost meter to use them?
It does not. If it's an amplified move, it costs you the meter,
Sure.
but it does not cost you any other resources,
Right.
which is one of the cool things about the resource system in this game. So one other example, since we have Kabal on, would be... Actually, I'll do it this way. His 4-2-2-4, if it hits as a punish, will go into the Crushing Blow. So the meta here would be simple. When you block his slide, do you want to cash in and do your Crushing Blow? And you can see, it does a lot of damage. Like,
What's the normal damage? Yeah.
all right, that's the normal one. So it's a pretty significant increase in damage. And you also can get stuff, again, like longer knockdowns or all different kind of goodies. They are definitely much, much better than the normal version.
Right, and so and that's what I've loved. Like, there's a bunch of things we've talked about. Like, for instance, the fatal blows.
Right.
Do you want to use those at this time? Do you want to use them later?
Yes.
Same with the crushing blows. Do you want to use them now, or do you want to save it for later? Like, are you closing out a round? Is that the most important thing to you, or are you bodying and you want to save it for later? You know, like, there's just a lot of questions there.
Almost every aspect of the game that we've changed since the last game plays into that. For example, I said it during the reveal event that combos are pretty toned down. That's not to say I saw some people, oh my god, there's no combos, it's like Mortal Kombat 1. No. That is not at all what I'm talking about, but they are generally shorter, it's more resources and more dangerous to try to go into combos. But the damage that's not there from combos as much is back in the form of crushing blows or fatal blows and all that. But exactly you said, you have to think about when to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way I view it is to get the big damage, it's not hard to do. It's hard to think about what to do. When do you want to do the crushing blow?
So, I mean, I think the moral here is don't worry. There are plenty of combos for me to drop.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to keep happening. Don't worry.
I have never seen you actually do Sonya's back 1, 2, 3 into 4, 2, 1 every time in a game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
So
Classic Tyler.
I think
blowing me up,
the
man.
final thing to show Ball would be his fatal blow because it is sick.
Yes.
I am a huge fan of it. So if you didn't see the reveal event, the way it works is when you're at 30%, you can see the life bars now.
Right.
You gain access to fatal blow. And you do it just like you've always done super moves in our game. Both shoulders, even my dad could do it. And you get a one-time use, so you gotta make it count.
Right.
Once it hits, it's only gonna hit once. So let's go for it.
Oh, you did it.
Yep.
I've seen it 800 times, and the twirling part is still amazing.
And the N2 is kind of cool too because he wraps around.
That's what I want to. His N2 is by far my favorite right now. It is super fast, and when you play a Kabal, the most fun thing about playing Kabal, free, is you're zoning them and you're in Fatal Blow, and if they hit a button to do their own projectile,
like, is he going around the world? Is he going out the back door, just around the building?
Is he going through a portal? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know the answer to that. So right now, that is Kabal.
That's Kabal.
That's how he plays. That's how he's going to be working in the game. There's some, of course, there's some other, a ton of other loadout options you're going to have. We haven't showed everything they have.
That's not even all the abilities. That's just the ones that I made.
Right.
He actually has some very interesting ones that you can even see in the trailer, and more than that too.
And also talking about the different looks that he has, the customizations and whatnot. There's a ton of those too that we have not shown.
Oh, there's some really.
We're not going to
good
show
masks.
very many at all. Really, we're going to show probably about 3 every time. But
Right.
just like other customizable games we've done, there's a ton of content that you'll be able to unlock. So. Cool. I believe it is now time.
Ooh.
We're gonna talk through. There's a character that we talked about at the reveal events by the name of Geras, who is definitely one of my new favorite characters.
He was a big hit.
It really was. We want to kind of do a walkthrough of how he plays a little deeper. Maybe show a couple of his loadouts as well. And to do that, we're gonna let's show a picture of the big guy real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to play with him. We're going to bring a special guest in. Oh, you did?
Yes. Sorry, I thought you were going to throw.
All make mistakes, right, Burke?
Yeah,
We weren't muted.
I have a lot of new buttons now.
I mean,
Yes, we do have a lot of new
Burke
buttons.
makes a lot of mistakes.
So we're bringing a special guest in right now. We have Mr. Ken Morris here. He's
Hi,
going to be
everybody.
here for another thing we're going to be doing after this. Again, we have a lot of new stuff happening. We have a new room, and Burke now, behind the power station, has more buttons than we have ever had in the entire history of the stream.
So more Burke mistakes.
You know what? I'm going to call it my mistake.
Oh, for giving him so many buttons?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
There,
So
so
let's,
my clip's not working.
No.
Oh wait, it's fine.
Nailed it.
There we go.
It's
Cool.
fine. Moving on.
So let's talk a little bit about about Geras. Let's talk about who he is, what he does, that sort of thing, but not too in depth, obviously.
Don't get too nerdy.
Oh
Steve.
hey, look at that.
Make sure it's that controller. So Geras is a big body grappler. Because if you're making a henchman, I think it makes a lot of sense to make a heavy, right?
Right.
Shang Tsung had
Absolutely.
Goro, Shao Kahn had Kentaro, Quan Chi had Moloch, and now we have Geras. He
Right.
actually has multiple grab moves, including one of the coolest command grabs I've ever seen. But he's not just a power fighter. He also has control over time and the sands of time.
Excellent.
And he has some very, very clever trap zoning moves. Like you'll see in a minute, he has moves that can control space using his powers that are very unique for a grappler to have.
Excellent. Let's take a look.
So let's start with his normal attacks. One of the key ones is actually forward one. So forward and a front punch. It's very, very quick mid that travels very, very far. And he has a couple options he can do from it, including actually a grab attack. Another key one is forward 2, 1, 2, which is these dash-in punches. And he can actually link and do his command grab after it. Or any other special move.
I absolutely love shoulder charges. I don't know why, but like, there's just something about shoulder charges that are so
If
awesome.
you're a big guy in a fighting game, you pretty much need a shoulder bar.
Is it actually because you're not a big guy?
Probably.
So, okay, I'm just making sure.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, no problem.
I think you could still do a shoulder check if you wanted.
No, I would be horrible at it.
We
People
just
would be
saw
like, what are you doing?
Ken do it. It's a big guy staple is the body splash. The big body splash. Another interesting one is back 2-2, which is an old school like 80s wrestling double axe handle.
Clubbing blows.
Yeah, just a big ass clubbing blow. And his normal attacks actually use a lot of his sand powers. Like you can see his down 4. He goes into the ground and it makes sand come up. And his hop attack, which is really cool.
Ooh.
He literally pounds sand.
Pounding sand.
And you can see his wake-up attack is very, very effective as an anti-air.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
a big sand explosion.
Yeah, Ken got me with that earlier.
So you can see, for his normal attacks, he's pretty much just a bruiser. He just kind of goes to the mid-range and up close. Oh, that's a great point. I forgot that move. So he has 1/1/1 and then 1+3, which goes into this backbreaker. And the last jab is actually an overhead, and he has low special moves that he can actually mix you up with. So the opponent's going to have to guess between a low special move which crushes them, or a backbreaker which crushes their back. It's a really big bummer of a mix-up.
Not going well.
There's not really a good choice there.
I mean, backbreakers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
excited?
If you're a fan of grapplers or wrestlers, I think Geras is definitely a character for you.
I mean, a lot of things that I saw when I first saw him was just like, okay, this is definitely in the head. This is what I'm looking at.
One of my favorite things about the reveal event was Ultra David got to play to commentate with us, and he did an awesome job, by the way.
Yeah.
And I walked up to the character select, showed him the game, and like, well, here's your main. And he was like, yeah, this is my main.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
So let's go into his special moves
take a
because
look.
they're very unique. First off, his command grab is actually, he runs and grabs you. Like, it's actually distanced. And now, if you're mid-screen, he'll throw you as long as he can, then let you go. But if you do it closer to the wall, see what happens, because it's a barrel of fun.
Oh,
You were like a
not bad.
pixel
why did you
off.
reset?
Yeah. To get the run, man.
All right.
That's just terrible. The way that he slowly walks away is the best part.
I like the way the victim slumps off.
So would you say that Geras has some quarter carry capabilities?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on for him.
So that's his command
Absolutely.
grab. The opponent can actually duck it, but you can see that I think it'll even hit from the start of the round.
I think you need to be just a step in, like a micro step.
So his other kind of typical special move is his big fist, his big sand fist. This is an awesome string ender. Like, it's a way to end strings safely. It's safe on block. It is a high, so if it's not a block string, like a safe block string, you can actually duck. Like, if he does a poke into it, you can actually interrupt it. But for the most part, when you're going to use it, it's going to be safe. And that's just kind of, you push him away, you get damage, you stay safe. But then we'll go into more of his, kind of what I was talking about, his wacky trap moves. First off, he has a sand trap. This does not auto-track you. You have to either do close, medium, or far, but it's one of a really good move to keep them out. He can kind of use that in the mid-range and predict that they're going to jump into it. He can use it far away if he thinks they're going to try to throw a projectile or they're going to try to do one of their long-range normals. It's one of those moves that just kind of controls space, and he's saying, stop, stop.
And it seems pretty fast too.
It is super fast. There's no way, only Paulo would claim he can react to that. Paulo would use it for glue. Everyone else, you gotta like look for it. Now the thing is, to keep it balanced, is like I said, he has to know, is it close, medium, or far? So he's gotta predict where they are, and they gotta predict where he's gonna do it. Another good space control move is his actual time stop, where he will actually...
One of my favorite moves right now for the characters that we've revealed.
It's extremely clever. So from about mid-range, he can do this, and it has like the hitbox like an aura around him, and the opponent is totally frozen and does not react to anything until it's out, but they will take the damage. So you can actually see he can do an uppercut, and it won't knock them away. They just take real chunky damage, and then once the time stops over, they then react, and he can actually get combos.
And you may have mentioned this. It takes a bar.
Yes, it
And
actually
this is a
takes
move
stamina.
that isn't amplified.
Correct.
It takes a bar regardless.
What
Yes.
more could you do to that move? Right? Like,
Yeah.
You also cannot 2-in-1 into it, so he cannot use it to like do easy combos. But it's a great punisher. It's a high risk move, but it's super high reward.
I've had a lot of fun doing it on jump ins.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, come on.
That's
so good.
All right.
Oh.
So we made three loadouts just like Kabal, and they're kind of themed, and I'd like to talk about them. So this one we have up. This is.
Well,
Go back to one.
I-
Okay, so this one is our
That's
sand-based
too
one. I gave him space control sand moves. So he's going to have a sand trap that lays on the ground, quicksand, and that will actually slow their movement. Or they get sucked in.
right.
We'll see it in about 2 seconds.
You have a lot of fun creating these.
Yes, I always do. All right, so this one that will push them in. And this, you can already imagine, if you're a grappler, you know what this would be used for.
Yep.
They literally are forced to come into his grapple position. So he can be using his quicksand moves to control space. The opponent is sitting there, they're scared of the command grab. You put that out, and they literally come to be, and they have no choice. The second move we gave him is Sand Pillar. which is very similar to Sand Trap, except it goes up the length of the sky. He still has to do close, medium, and far, and that'll actually pop them up. And what's super cool is the amplified version. Puts it on a timer. You can actually see the hourglass. There you go. And when that's up, pillar comes out. So the idea here is put the hourglass out, then you do his other moves, and the opponent, if they dare to go in, that delayed thing is going to pop them up.
They're always worried that that's going to happen.
Yeah, so that is an awesome space control one. And the final one we gave him here is, his Sand Trap changes, and it's actually projectile immune when he's doing it. So you do the normal Sand Trap.
Oh, that's actually another.
That's a different. What is the one in this then?
I honestly don't remember. This might be it for this loadout.
Is that 3 moves?
No, that was just 2.
Yeah, what are we forgetting?
I don't know. It's my first day.
Yeah, it's his first day on
It's
the
my
job,
first
Steve.
day, man.
All right, that's brutal.
Moving on. Moving on.
Can we edit that?
No, we're live. Do it live.
Okay,
Wait,
all right.
fix it in post.
Wait, this is live?
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Moving on.
All right, we have 5 seconds to think of it. What was it?
The one with the sand.
Yeah. What's the third sand move?
Moving on to
Time to
2.
turn
All right,
back time. We cannot turn back
Yeah,
time.
we cannot. I really wish I was Geras right now.
Yeah, would be nice.
All right, so turn back time. This is only going to have one ability because it's a 3-slot ability because it is the coolest, most OD, OP move in the history of fighting games. I love this move. He actually can bank the last 4 seconds and completely rewind time.
It's awesome.
So, here is the classic example. Let's say he screws up and he whiffs his command grab and he's sitting there, oh no! If the opponent goes to punish it, he can actually reverse time while he's in a hit reaction.
That's awesome.
Like if Sub-Zero is actually doing like 2-1-2 to him, he can rewind.
I would point out that if you watch in the left side there, this one is a little different than most moves. This actually takes 100% of his defensive stamina to do.
Yes,
that
that's
seems pretty powerful.
Yeah,
It's very
so
powerful.
You
but,
get
yeah.
access to literally the most game-changing move ever made, but there are a lot of caveats, and you're going to have to think about that. You cannot use any other ability if you use this. So, and there are some that are also 2 slots. So, if you want to play a very safe Geras that's going to be super conservative, and you're going to use this to erase mistakes, you're giving up a lot to do it. But it is very, very strong, and I think that's one of the cool things about the variation system.
It's so awesome.
It's definitely one of the cooler moves, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Sadly, you can't get super meta and rewind yourself rewinding doing it to give your meter back.
That's true. You cannot do that.
Wow, you're thinking like 87 steps ahead.
That's pretty deep, I know.
While I think of it, let's check out his forward throw, because it's amazing.
Oh.
And let's check out his fatal blow, because its into is also extremely, extremely juicy.
You know, I don't think I believe Ken that he's just as fast as Steve.
It's my first day. Be nice.
All right, so his super into has tons of range and is super fast, and he actually sucks you in. So let's go for it. I didn't even think that would hit, and it did.
My spacing. I don't know if we can talk about that.
I've always said it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tyler. At least someone defends me.
All right, so let's go to loadout 3.
Steve would have been there already. Moving on.
Oh my
just
god.
saying.
There's no dealing with you. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's the life we live.
So loadout 3, I decided to make a melee-based one. So the first thing I did was I actually replaced his command grab with a choke slam, which is a hit throw. Now, one thing about Geras is he's not really like a combo master. He doesn't have a lot of pop-ups, but with this, he does. He can amplify it, and instead of throwing him on the spikes, he throws him into the sand portal and then gets a full combo. So, while you're giving up your key way of opening people up, you instead get a massive combo string that you can use to punish things or just use it in the neutral. And so if you're not really a grappler guy, but you think Geras looks really
awesome.
cool,
Right.
this is a great choice for you.
Great news for you. Here's the move that you were looking for earlier. The projectile immune sand trap.
Yes, so if you're getting zoned out badly, normally when you do the sand trap, when he's going into the animation, you can hit him out. Like if Sub-Zero had done the freeze, he'll still get frozen. But with this version, he's actually projectile immune once he's sinking in. So it's great for anti-zoning. And he does a great Kali chop, so that makes me super
The
happy.
chop is fantastic.
Yeah, the chop is tremendous. Look at the way their body goes. Like, just get out of here, like garbage. And then lastly, this gives him a souped-up big punch. He's actually able to charge it. And the longer he charges it, the more damage it's going to do. And what's cool is it's actually stored. He can charge it up a couple of levels, let it go back to fighting, and the next time he uses it, it remembers how much it was charged. So he could kind of charge it up, make it do a lot more damage, not actually use it, go back to playing it, charge it up a little bit more, and then when he finally wants to cash in, boom. That was a lot of damage.
Dirty.
So that's an even bigger fist.
Awesome.
So he's got a big fist and then a bigger fist.
So just like Kabal, it's how do you want to play? Do you
Right.
want to just go in with forward 1 and charge up your big fist and cash in for big damage and get big combos with your choke slam?
Right.
Do you want to play the grappling style where you use the quicksand to like control their movement? Or do you want to make sure all your mistakes can rewind time and you use the rewind time move?
I make a lot of mistakes, so I'm just saying the rewind time makes me feel better inside.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing that he does is takes time off the match.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's another thing too.
Yeah, there's moves we didn't even talk about, and that's a great example.
It's
He can
so dirty.
literally take 30 seconds off the clock.
Right.
Or the other way, he can actually add
Right.
30 seconds back onto the clock. So if Derek's trying to timer scam you, you can put the time back and say, I don't think so, we're good here.
Yeah, because Derek loves to sit back and turn.
Yeah, well,
I do.
That's-
That's
it's a
so how I
fantasy.
play.
It's
Yeah.
a fantasy.
So that's Geras, everybody. Super cool. Again, a ton of other things you can put on him, which we haven't shown yet. Which will, as we keep going, getting closer to the game's launch, we'll definitely see a few more of those things. But we're just going to show you bits and pieces right now because we still want people to be hyped about stuff that when they get the game, they're like, "We never saw that. That's
Right.
insane," and that's awesome.
Should I not have said something about the clock thing?
No,
No,
that's fine.
that's fine.
But we're going to talk after this.
Oh.
What we brought Ken on for, during some of the past streams we've done, we got a lot of people really interested and excited when we would have Steve here play against a former pro or play against someone who had had some tournament experience to show matches at a higher level, and people have really enjoyed that. So today, we've brought Ken and Steve here for a segment that I like to call Washed Up Warriors.
Ooh. I like it.
It's pretty cool. There it is, Washed Up Warriors.
Edgelord.
God, I'm edgy.
That's so good.
I
so
am
good.
edgy.
You look like you got a rap album coming
Yeah,
out.
don't worry about that.
So we're going to have them play a match. Who are you guys going to go with today?
I'm going to use Kabal.
Okay.
I'm actually going to play Sub-Zero. He's been just getting beat up all day, so
Right.
I figure, give him a little love.
I think, so while you guys are setting up, I want to just kind of talk a little bit about your tournament resumes.
Okay. I'm excited for that.
Steve, let's do a little talk here. How many EVO top 8s do you have?
3.
How many EVO top 16s do you have?
4.
In addition to the 8?
So is
No.
that a total 7 or is that included?
Yeah,
That's
now I'm confused
4
by the
period.
math. What would you say is the biggest thing on your resume that you're most proud of?
I am the 2011 SoCal Regionals champion.
Okay.
I also got top 8 at all 4 MLGs I entered. And I had a streak of getting top 8 at every MK9 tournament I entered for literally years.
Wow. Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
I was also widely considered to be the best Catwoman in the world, and the only reason Samij and Tweety have any credibility as the best Catwoman in Starfire is I chose to let them.
Wow. Okay, moving
Yikes.
on. I want to start this out, Ken. Ken,
Yeah.
Galloping Guest Arcade, team member for many years. There's a tournament called Naptown Clutch.
That is true. That is a tournament. Great tournament.
You
by
went
the
to
way.
a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, I've been around.
But at Naptown Clutch, one I talk about a lot, you defeated this man right here.
Right here. That
Sitting
did happen.
right beside me.
Uh-huh.
You defeated him in the grand finals.
That is accurate.
Are you salty?
How mad were you?
How mad were you at the time?
How
At
mad
the
were
time, I
Yeah.
punched a chair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, you're definitely leaving a part out. I came from the losers bracket. He got reset.
Excellent.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
you? Wow.
That's a good point. How many times do I bring this up a week?
At least twice.
Yeah.
And still not salty?
No.
All right.
I would like to point out, if
Yeah.
I may, great resume. Great resume.
Sure.
I'm a few credits shy of any sort of mathematical degree, but I think the equation works out that because I beat him, I'm actually the best Catwoman player. And he's going to have to hold that.
Oh.
That is the only grand finals we ever met in outside of a local. This guy got the win.
I can't argue it, can I?
That's math.
It's simple math.
Yep.
That's math.
Check
So
it
The
out.
numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
I say we go to the match. I remember we'll not talk over any sort of intros. So let's check it out. Washed Up Warriors, Saucy Jack versus 16-bit.
Woo! Good lord.
Very, very excited about this, guys.
Don't talk during the intro.
faster.
Running on ice is ill-advised.
Just good advice.
He's just giving advice. Hey,
And
pal.
if you noticed, we have subtitles on intros.
Right. Sonic Fox had tweeted that out. And we were like, hey, pal, they're there. You just got to turn them on.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There we go. Start with that
Opens them up.
overhead. Kind of drops it. A trade. Good jump.
Amplifies the slide.
You guys kind of have to talk while you're playing, too.
All right. Okay, we can do that.
I'm not good at commentating this.
Well, at the moment, you know, trying to hit Steve with these slides. For people that don't know, the slide crushing blow can be activated after you've done 3 EXs. So my game plan is to make sure that I have that available, just in case I need that at any point.
Right.
And I've already hit him with 2, so now Steve has to think about this the entire time. Is that slide crushing blow going to come out and bite him?
So 2 fatal blows are available right now. Oh, there it
That was
is.
a punish.
Hey, Steve, it seemed like you're kind of throwing the amplified saw blades whenever you want.
Yeah, I mean, the intention of the stamina meter is not that it's super, super limited. It does recharge at a fixed rate, and it's pretty fast. Like, the idea here is that we don't want you to just never be able to do it. So yeah, I'm pretty liberal with how I use it. That's personally how I play, and I think it makes a lot of sense with how it works.
Goes for the low grab. Oh,
And the reward is just so good that why
I'm
would I
going to
not?
take it. I'm taking it.
oh, that's
a
damage.
big
Ooh,
damage.
damage.
Now, keep in mind, Sub-Zero does not have his his fatal blow available anymore.
Right. I decided to end the round with it, so I've now left myself naked on that stuff. When it comes to fatal blow time, if I'm down again, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm not going to have it available. Whereas he has his, and I now have to think about that the entire time.
That it could come at any moment.
Yep.
Goes into the low grab, pushing him back. Probably going to go back to the saw blades. Yep.
Big trade.
Saw blades.
And now, as Steve
just
alluded,
staying back, waiting for him to mistake.
As he alluded to earlier, I now have to be very careful on when I do anything.
Oh!
Oh!
There it is. Oh, he just throws it out all willy-nilly like that.
Now, it will come back.
It will come back, yes. It's about 6 seconds, so it's a while,
It
but
is
it will
back
come
now.
back.
Ken rolls back.
Steve's waiting for his moment to come in.
Ooh, throwing it.
Oh, there it is!
Caught him.
Oh, you're so fast. Help me.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, and you did.
So now we are into the final round,
And
and
we
there are
both used
no
our-
fatal blows
Right.
available.
Yep.
So the last 30 seconds meta is drastically different. It's honest now.
Yeah.
Like,
Honest pussies.
honestly, like in a situation like this, like if you think you're going to lose the round and they're going to use their fatal blow in this situation, especially with Kabal the way it goes into it, maybe baiting it out for the second round is a good idea.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Going back to his zone. And
Oh, what?
he gets it.
No more crushing blow available on the slide.
Right, I've already used it, which I then lost that round, so that ended up being a huge mistake tactically. And that is when you have to decide when to use it. Oh,
Now you notice
They're
I
just trading
amplified that
here.
interactable to get armor.
Oh, right.
Gets him in the corner.
Oh, I'm in a lot of trouble.
This could be good damage.
Oh, you guessed
That,
right.
that is punishable.
That's going to be it. Oh, he air escapes.
Oh, breakaway.
Breakaway.
Burke back there sat up in his chair. He's like, what?
Breakaway puts you in an armored state, and you flip out of the combo, but you do still take damage. And the key thing to keep in mind is, because it takes so much stamina, you don't have access to your wake-up attack.
Right.
So Ken survived the combo, but he was put in a very, very difficult situation to recover from.
Yep, which is why sometimes you don't have to sell it for the slide. It is Sub-Zero, is it not?
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Turn back, Kabal.
I only know how to go forward.
Then you require a lesson.
That's very positive. He only knows how to
Yeah.
go forward.
I like
He's
that.
a real
I like that.
progressive.
First hit props. Go. Amplifies the throw.
But again, just trying to get myself into a position where I have the KB available if I want to use it.
Oh, just throwing out jump kicks.
We saw a real quick question on Twitter about the 30-second timer thing. You can't just end a round.
No.
No, you cannot. Also, a note on the interacts, as people can probably see right now, I used 2 in a row, and Sub-Zero, no defensive stamina because of those interacts. So
Yes.
I now can't wake up, and I put myself in a position where Kabal can just do what he wants to me. Also, for those that haven't seen a lot of the sub stuff, he's got these really cool projectiles that I keep using a lot that look really awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the new zoning Sub-Zero. Those are the ones that I use too.
Yeah, so Sub-Zero never being known as really a zoner in any. Oh!
Oh.
Fatal blows. Oh!
So that round did not turn out well for Sub-Zero.
It did not. And as you saw, Super Moo's armor is not instant. I did try to super in a gap in a string, and I was stuck. Poor
Yeah.
Sub-Zero.
It does take a few frames.
Now, if it was stuffed, does he get it back?
Yes.
Okay.
You
It has to go into the animation.
Yep, it has to go into the actual animation to count. Same with if it whiffs or if it's blocked.
Gotcha.
But it is a pretty long cooldown.
Sub-Zero with the long leg syndrome there. Now there was a decision where I did not want to use the crushing blow because I didn't feel like it was time.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, I am. Oh, now I'm really in trouble.
Oh!
Oh! Steve tried to get a little swaggy.
Oh!
Yeah, that was
That did not turn out well.
Critical disaster.
Never go full Derek, Steve.
Yeah,
Never
you
go
totally
went
full Derek.
Is it going to kill though?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Never go full Derek.
Steve, how you feeling right now about that decision you made?
It's fun. I still have a round.
And,
Alright.
You have a crushing blow as well, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Low grab, pushing him back.
I'm using it.
Ooh.
Oh, look
Now
at that
I'm a
damage.
little emo. Now I'm
Now it's
legitimately
looking good. Now it's looking good for Team Sub-Zero. Oh, and then I immediately eat a projectile. Maybe it's not looking good for Team Sub-Zero. I might have lied on the internet.
Alright. Just about evening up the health here. We're pretty close. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. I missed the punch.
You see his overhead there, I was actually able to punish it. So Sub-Zero has a great long-range overhead. It is good, but he was dead for going for it.
Oh!
And that time the
That's
armor
gonna
did
do
so
it.
well. I think this might be
I
it.
think it's it.
I might be in a world of hurt. Send help.
Yep, you did.
Oh, I should have brought my Naptown Clutch trophy to make me feel better.
Wait,
Oh no, you're still alive!
Oh, you've got life! You got life!
No, I'm in the
Oh!
That was awesome.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Can we clip that and everybody tweet it to 16-bit, please?
Wow, it's 1-1.
We're ending the tie.
Wow.
We're a lot more. We have a few more things to talk about. We're going to end in a tie today.